Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Friday, the 30th of December 2022. Today's Millwall news: it has been agreed, finalised, signed, sealed and delivered that Isaac Tanto Olaofe has departed Millwall. This was earlier today. This is from millwallfc.co.uk, club's official site, so it's officially official. A Millwall Football Club can confirm striker Isaac Olaofe has signed for Sky Bet League 2 side Stockport County for an undisclosed fee and will officially join the Hatters on January 1st, 2023, in 2 days' time. Olaofe departs after nearly 10 years at the club when he joined as a 14-year-old, made his first team debut this season away to Cambridge United in the Carabao Cup, while making a further 2 appearances in the league against Sheffield United and Coventry. The 23-year-old gained experience with loan spells at Scottish side St Johnstone, as well as Sutton United, where his eye for goal assisted the club to promotion to the Football League for the first time in their history. Everyone at Millwall would like to thank Isaac for his outstanding efforts and professionalism whilst with the Lions and wish him all the very best for the future. Here. Yes. And a bit of background about this from londonnewsonline.co.uk. Stockport boss has been a long-term admirer of striker, as third time proves lucky in striking a deal. Stockport County manager Dave Challinor has revealed he is a long-time admirer of Isaac Olaofe after clinching a permanent deal for the Millwall striker. The 23-year-old Lions frontman joins for an undisclosed six-figure fee. 6 figures, so £100,000 and upwards. I assume. I don't think they're talking about decimal places. We reported earlier in the week that the Championship club have a buyback option as well as a sell-on clause. No flies on them. Olaofe has signed a 2.5-year deal. Wow, long term, big plans with the League 2 club, who recently knocked Charlton out of the FA Cup. Well, that's nothing to brag about, is it? I mean, they're not exactly pulling up trees, so knocking Charlton out of the FA Cup, I mean, that's just bread and butter, isn't it? I've tracked Isaac for some time, and to finally get a deal done to be able to work with him is really pleasing, said Challinor to Stockport's official website. I must thank Mark and the board for allowing us to invest in not just the present but the future as well. It's third time lucky, I suppose. I've tried to take Isaac to Hartlepool, but that unfortunately didn't happen. We then spoke prior to the August transfer window shutting, but he felt he needed to go and prove himself in League 1, having done well at Sutton in League 2, which I totally understood. We had a really good conversation with him and we wished each other well. Finally, this time we've got our man. I hope and believe the saying that good things come to those who wait will be very fruitful in this instance, and I'm delighted he's agreed to come and join us. In terms of a player, he absolutely fits the profile we've been after. He's young, hungry, has power, pace, and wants to stretch the game and run in behind. Out of possession, he'll press really hard from the front, so he'll fit into our style and philosophy, hopefully, very easily, and importantly, his goal involvement in creating and scoring is very good. It's important now that we get him integrated into the group as quickly as possible and get a clear understanding of what we need from him on both sides of the ball and get him out there to experience what this club is about. He was at the game on Boxing Day, so he's felt the atmosphere inside Edgeley Park from the stands, and very soon he'll get to feel that from on the pitch. I'm sure everyone will make him feel very welcome, and from the times I've spoken with him, he seems a very level-headed, humble young man, who I think will be a real success with us. So Dave Challinor there. Dave Challinor was the manager at Hartlepool when Tyler Burey went to Hartlepool and had that successful loan spell there, and then he left and went to Stockport County. So it seems he was trying to get Isaac Olaofe at Hartlepool as well. So this is the kind of thing that's mentioned as well with like Zion Fleming as well when we signed. Because we went in for him and it didn't happen. Then we went back in for him and it didn't happen. So then we went in for him again. It's like, wow, they really want me to sign for them. Wow, I mean, I must think about it then, because they really want me to sign for them. Like that, it's been 2 years and they keep coming back. And it seems that's what's happened here with Tanto. He's a similar thing with Dave Challoner, constantly wanting to sign him wherever he's been, at Hartlepool, at Stockport, and now doing this and paying money for him. I think Stockport County in League Two paying money, which is, I don't know what their crowds are. They must be getting decent crowds spending money on transfer. Because League Two is a bit of a dead league, to be honest with you. I mean, at the bottom, there are teams in the national, at the top of the National League, that are probably better run and in a better position than the bottom teams of League Two. Some desperate things at the bottom of League Two, but at the top of League Two, pretty decent stuff going on in there. So we'll see where we're. All the best to Isaac. Godspeed. Yeah, get out there and get cracking, and just do what you need to do, and get a career for yourself, get a name for yourself as a goal scorer in League Two and League One. Maybe in the Championship. Who knows? But you've already done things at Sutton. You got them promoted. You helped get them promoted to the league for the first time in their history. So crack on, Stockport County. They were back in. They did have a spell in back in the, was it 90s, where they were in what is the Championship now. So maybe this is the start of them getting back there. So, and you could be involved in that. So good luck to you for that. Now we're moving on now to the London News Online. The takeaways from yesterday's anticlimax. So Millwall forced to settle for a third straight home draw after Bristol City dug in for a share of the spoils in C16 on Thursday night. Disagree. Bristol City didn't dig in for anything. They were the better team. They could and probably should have won that. Styles played them on side. Wyman played on side. We needed Jake Cooper to do a last-ditch tackle against Semenya. So Bristol City didn't dig in for anything. We dug in. We defended very well, actually. One good thing to come out of that game. But going forward, we were toothless. The Lions had no teeth. So let's crack on and get to a ball draw, but a clean sheet. It was no spectacle. Bristol City needed a response after West Brom beat them on Boxing Day, and they got what they got that with their performance at the Den. Millwall's main threat is through set pieces and dead ball situations, but they were deprived of those throughout the contest. They had just 3 corners, and not one of them caused any problems for Max O'Leary in a City goal, who did not have a save to make. That will be the main disappointment for Millwall, considering how much effort they put in at Watford to come away with a comfortable victory. This seemed the polar opposite, and they could have even lost it had it not been for Long's quick thinking. However, one positive to take from it for the manager and the players is that it's another point on the board and another clean sheet. Something Longley's teammates have been short of this season. Then deadlock. It's the third successive home game that has ended in a draw. All 3 games have come against teams in the lower reaches of the table. The Lions have faced Hull City, Wigan, and Bristol City in those 3 games and managed to score just 1 goal. That will be a concern for Rowett, but in years gone by, those would have been games that could have ended in defeat. Disagree. It depends. Years gone by, which years? Billy Bonds years? Those years? Spackman years? Tuttle years? Yeah, maybe. McGee years? No. Dennis Wise years? No. So The problem facing Millwall is that teams in those reaches of the table are studying what the others do and setting up similar ways to frustrate Rowett's men and silence the home crowd, which is a huge factor. But away sides visiting SE16, Millwall aren't a side like Burnley or Sheffield United that can play through a stubborn defence to open them up and create chances, especially if not all their options are fit and firing. Long answers critics. There have been some criticism on Garrett's continued persistence in starting George Long over Bart Bietkowski in the Millwall goal. Long replaced the two-time Millwall Player of the Season winner in goal against Blackpool in September and has been an ever-present since. He was criticised for 2 of the 3 goals that Sunderland scored against Millwall on December the 3rd, but he proved his worth against Bristol City. There is no doubt that Bietkowski is an excellent shot stopper, but long established he could be just as good with the smart save he made to deny Semenyo. His agility and pace to get off his line quickly meant he could make himself big and deal with a threat. That could turn out to be a massive save come the end of the season, particularly with how tight the league is at present. One mistake can cost you 3 or 4 positions. The Burey dilemma. Tyler Burey is another player that is currently dividing fan opinion. As a young player, you expect at times his performances to be a little bit inconsistent, and that is what we are seeing from him at present. It's clear to see the frustration on his face when things are not coming off for him. A few times on Thursday night, he could have used a different option. There is no doubt that he has the talent there to be an excellent footballer. He was best when he was running at the City defence. His raw pace is a massive advantage that almost created an opening goal for the Mill in the first half on Thursday. However, his final product let him down. He put too much power on the cross, but as a young player, he will learn how to adjust his game accordingly. The problem facing Rowett now, though, is does he risk another game of potential frustration with Burey against a Robin side that will sit deep and make life hard for his attacking options, or does he keep him in reserve and use him as a critical weapon in the final half an hour against a tiring Village side? Yes, the last one. I think we need massive changes. It was absolute stupid. I'm not going to go on about it. I did in yesterday's video. I repeated it. To not change any of the players from the Watford game to the Bristol City game, despite there being only 2 days off between the 2 games, was absolutely idiotic. And I think we're going to see a reaction now with Gary Rowett making wholesale changes. And we'll see how we get on. I would like to see a formation change because the new formation is clearly not working at home against teams that defend, so we need to do something different. I would suggest maybe 4-3-3 with 2 sitting deep and 1 up at point, and then play through the middle because you got Fleming there. Maybe play with 1 facing the goal, being Fleming, and 1 with a back to the goal, maybe Honeyman, and see how we get on with that. Indeed. Or maybe go back to the 3-5-2 because we know you love it, Gary. We know you love it. So if they are sitting back and defending, then it would be 3-5-2 because we'll do a lot of attacking. But the problem with that is when you did it and we were playing 5-3-2 and it wasn't working. It was stupid. So, or maybe 3. What was it? 3-4-2-1. Something. I mean, it's Rotherham. I mean, come on. We need to do something. We need to go out. And if they want to sit back, let them sit back. Just keep smashing them until they make a mistake and we break them down and get in there. So yeah, let's get at them because they don't like it. They don't like it up them apparently. Now, talking of Tyler Burey, so this is also from londonnewsonline.co.uk. They've actually had a whole little piece about Tyler now. He seems to be in the spotlight a bit. So Millwall attacker Tyler Burey challenged to think about different facets of his game. Gary Rowett is keen for Tyler Burey to continue learning and offered some advice after the Millwall attacker suffered a frustrating evening against Bristol City on Thursday. Former AFC Wimbledon youngster saw several of his attempted efforts on the night fizzle out as the Robins shut out the hosts in the stalemate. Rowett said, Tyler needs to keep thinking about different facets of his game. We all know that if he can pick it up and run at someone, he can be very effective. And what you've got to do in this game, if you're a young player, is find a time to do something different. Sometimes you have to drop in and receive the ball. Sometimes you might have to run in behind with a little bit of clever movement. Those are the things he has to try and add to his game. There were some bright moments today. There were moments where it didn't quite go for him. And there was one where he had a great chance 1v1 and the ball just rolled under his foot and out of play. He looked like he was getting frustrated with those situations. We've spoken about it before, and we need all our options firing. It's a classic game where if Zion isn't giving us that quality, there's someone else that has to, and it was a difficult game to find much space if you are our front four today. Yes, I mean everyone's pointing the finger and moaning at Tyler Burey, but what did Tyler Fleming do in that game yesterday? He was the invisible man. Was he even playing? No one's saying anything because he scored 10 goals. Well, and Rowett says there, like, if Zion isn't giving us that quality, maybe take him off. Maybe get a rocket up his arse. Maybe, like, say, like, you're not doing anything, Zion, so I'm taking you off. And if he moans, if he wants, say, well, next time I play you, fucking do something. I'll play you against Rotherham. Fucking turn it on. Like, that's what this man management, like, maybe, but I mean, well, we'll see about that later. But let me go all psychological now on you. So Tyler Burey, what is happening? He needs to ascend. What do I mean by that? Well, look at this. Self-actualization means you win at being you. This is from some website called KimberlyRonaldo.com. But it's just, I could have just picked up anything. I'm just looking at this Maslow's triangle motivational model. So what it is how it works, is once you've got basic stuff sorted out, you ascend. You go up above and beyond. So biological and physiological, food, shelter, shit like that, safety, love and belongingness, esteem, cognitive, aesthetic, self-actualization, self-fulfillment, growth, potential, peak experiences. This is where we are now, I think, with Tyler Burey. He needs to visualize and actualize. So where is it? Here. So in Maslow's original work, when you've met your basic needs for survival, desires that concern safety and affection follow. You'll then tackle your esteem needs. Once esteem needs such as self-confidence and self-respect have been met, only then can you expect to self-actualize. Hierarchy also serves as a model of development in which babies start at the lowest level of needs for food, water, and shelter. You should also understand that the process of self-actualization is different for everyone. Not all individuals achieve all levels, and those who do self-actualize may not necessarily remain in that state. You may travel between several levels of the hierarchy over your lifespan based on circumstances, choices, mental health status. And sometimes unmet needs can cause you to become stuck at a specific level. Each of us has a burning desire to be something, and that is potential. Our ability to reach that potential comes through development and growth. The first part of self-actualization is accepting who you truly are, and next comes understanding that your life journey for growth and potential has no end. To self-actualize, you must always seek to expand your horizons as a human being. To achieve success, you must continually seek it. The potential to self-actualize is something that lies within us all. You must be willing to grow, take the next steps necessarily to unlock that self-actualization. What does that actually mean to Tyler Burey? He needs to figure out how we can get better and expand and move on. But it just seems he's going through the motions like, oh, I'm on the left wing. They give me the ball. I run with it or I lay it off. He needs to be doing more than that. He needs to figure a few things out. Can you take corners? Can you take free kicks? Can you take a quick throw in when it's unexpected? Because you'll just like, why would he do that? Like, oh no, I'll leave it for someone else. Well, no, you do it. You be the one that does it. Make something happen and grow. Like, that's how you grow as a footballer. By doing more and being more, and not just go through the motions. Like, do some crazy shit. And then make some other shit happen. Because if you're just going through the motions, this guy, he gets the ball and then he drops his shoulder to the left and then to the right, and then he taps it and runs through. And he does that like 9 times out of 10. So, because they would, at this level, they'll be watching videos about you. So then they'll know all about you and what you're going to do. So you need to figure it out. Indeed. Now, moving on, we're going to go on to stats for the Bristol City game. The XG, this one is from the Watford game, which is Lakers Experimental361.com. For some reason, he's a bit late now, but you can go back to the glory days of a couple of games ago against Watford on Boxing Day. You can see here the XG is 2.3, and for them it was 0.6. But you can see, so they didn't have a shot on our goal until around about the 22nd minute or so. But you can see, look, continual attempts on the Watford goal. Some of them, like the quietest spell we had was trying to see out the first half, but the line goes up and it goes along and it goes up and it goes up and it goes up. Not quite a staircase. The chances are a bit bitty and a bit small and not clear cut, but more like a cliff face as it's going up. This is good. This is what we want. And I can't show you the Bristol City one because it's not up yet, but we can go to info.goal.net and look at the stats from the Bristol City game. This is the shot map. Before we get into that, if you look at the red FT in the middle, you can see the XG for Millwall was 0.51 and the XG for Bristol City was 0.99. Basically what that means is Bristol City had enough chances to get 1 goal, and we basically had enough chances to get half a goal, which would have been basically 0 or 1. We would have been very lucky to score 1 goal, and we probably would deserve to score 0. So that's how that works. Here are the goal attempts from Millwall. Not very good ones. That one there is the biggest, it looks like, and that's Tom Bradshaw 49. That's Vogelsam on 42, where he hit the bar. Yeah, not the best, is it? I mean, then we go down to Bristol City, so they're not prolific. They didn't have tons and tons and tons of chances. They went at us a lot. But like I said, our good defending stopped them from getting too many shots away. They did get a few away, and they had 2 really good chances. That was the one that should have scored. Coops and Hutch were playing him offside. They both went up with their arms at the same time. But then you look over your shoulder to your left hand side, and there's Callum Styles playing him on side. So thank God he that wasn't on target, because that would have been good night for Vienna. That would have been a goal, and I think the atmosphere in the ground would have turned very nasty indeed. There's the Semenyo one. I think that's probably the one that they keep talking about with George Long, point blank save. Yeah, so there you go. And if we split it up into first half, second half, first half, there we are. And you see, so first half, and this is what we see quite time and time again, especially against these old sea dog, old salty sea captain. Been there, done it, got the t-shirt managers. Nigel Pearson's one of them. At half time, he has a word with them. He has a word with them at half time, and then they come out and they do that. They nearly do enough to win the game. Could have won the game. Probably should have won the game. Didn't. This is what we did in the second half. 3 attempts. Fantastic, eh? Jake Cooper on 69, Bradshaw on 49, and Murray Wallace in injury time. That was it. So what was that? 49, 69. So every 20 minutes, shot on goal. Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Fairness rating, was that a fair result? Actually, they say yes, 86.23 out of 100. I guess. I'm basically saying, yeah, well, that wasn't 0-0 wouldn't be fair. So let's move on now to this from WhoScored.com. Murray Wallace given man of the match. Can you believe it? That's because if you look underneath, he was our main attacking threat. He had 3 shots. Of course, none of them were on target because none of our shots were on target. More on that later. But he also defended as well. And yeah. So here we go. Match summary. Millwall, no strengths. Were poor at finishing. No specific style of play. Bristol City were effective, recreating goals scoring opportunities for through balls, but were poor at finishing and lost possession. Often attacked down the left side, favoured long balls and favoured through balls. So here we go. Attempts 9 for Millwall, 6 to Bristol City. Open play 6 to 5. Set pieces 3 to 1. And neither team converted. So there you go. And here are the attacking positions, basically identical more or less. We were going down our right side, they were going down the left, mostly going down the wings. So, how's Zion Fleming meant to get in the game if you're going down the wing? Maybe play him out on the wing? He has played there. Put him in the Vogelsammer position. Maybe just have them switching all the time. Have those 3 players, whoever they are, Burey, Fleming, and Vogelsammer, have them keep moving around, switching positions. Why not? I don't know. Maybe that's a stupid idea. I don't know. So here's the shot directions of the 9 shots that we had, most from the middle. Shot zones, none in the 6-yard box from either team. Action zones, mostly in the middle of the park. Player positions. Oh, okay. So, almost basically a 4-4-2 there for Millwall, with Burey out wide, Vogelsam cutting in more, and Bradshaw playing off of them. But look how deep they are though. Look how deep they are. This is their average player position. He's on the centre circle. Look how deep they are. Like Tyler Burey is nearly more forward than fucking Bradshaw. It's insane. Then you compare that with Bristol City, they're 11 and 15. They're a lot further forward than we are. Okay. Interesting. So let's move on and see who did what in that game. So here are the substitutions, maybe a bit late, 60 minutes. I think at half time a lot of people were saying, well, how about you change it now? 14,814 crowd at that out of 10. So if you look at the club badges at the top left and right, you can see Millwall average player rating 6.59, for Bristol City 6.69. It's pretty even there. So we can see basically all of the defence getting good scores, except for McNamara 6.5. Bit harsh. I don't know what that's about. We'll have a look and find out. Murray Wallace 7.5, Hutch 7.1, Long 7.1. But it was up front where not much going on. So Vogelsammer getting a better score, probably because he hit the bar, than all of the other forwards. Saville not doing too badly either, 7.2. So who had the shots then? Okay. Possession wise, we actually have more possession, which is unusual for us. 56 to 43. And that was mostly Hutchison and Billy Mitchell. And Danny McNamara. Pass success percentage 73 to 64. And again, Billy Mitchell 87. Pretty good. Dribble 6 to 4. Murray Wallace. Murray Wallace going dribbling. Yeah, Murray Wallace, last couple of games been outstanding. Took a bit of criticism in the Sunderland and Wigan games. Came back, Mountain Murray, just back at it again. Just figured it out and sorted himself out. And that was it. Much better from Murray Wallace. Aerials won 36 to 30. Everyone winning an aerial for Millwall except for Long and McNamara. Saville with 6 and Bradshaw with 8. Good stuff there. Cooper only 2, despite being the biggest man on the pitch. Tackles 9 to 11, so we lost the tackles. Okay, Vogelsammer with 4 tackles. Explains his high score. Corners 3 to 4, dispossessed 6 to 6. Basically having the ball taken off of you. So, okay, now let's move on and have a bit more of a look through. So we'll check out the shots first, and you can see these are all the players who had shots, and these are all the players who had shots on target. No one, not one. And we can compare and contrast that to Bristol City. So they had, what was it, 6, yeah? So they had 6 shots. They had 2 on target, so they could have scored 2 goals. But they did not. Thank God, because of our defending and goalkeeping. So let's sort it out by ratings. We've got Murray Wallace, number 1, 7.45. Then George Saville. Then George Long, third best player on that pitch according to them. Then Hutch and then Cooper. Yeah, so it's the defence. Basically, all of the defence except for McNamara and Chuck Saville in there. Which, when you consider Saville went off on the 78th minute, he still did enough to get that high of a score. Shows how good Saville has been lately. Yeah, so let's go down and see. So obviously, clearly, the subs not doing too well when they came on. They're the lowest rated players, which you would expect because they haven't had that much time on the pitch. But everyone moaning at Tyler Burey. Look at Tyler Burey. Tyler Burey had 59 minutes on the pitch, had got a rating of 6.32. Superstars Iron Fleming had 90 minutes on the pitch, got a rating of 6.22, and then he only had 1 shot on target. Well, he didn't have a shot on target. He only had 1 shot, which is unusual for him because he usually loves shooting. He's at the top of the championship for shooting, and he only has 1 shot. So yeah, there you go. Okay. Let's look at unscheduled touches. Poor ball control. This is another thing. So obviously Tyler Burey. That's another thing that will get the crown on your back. If you can't control the ball and it goes out for throwing or the opposition get it, that's an obvious mistake that's down on you, and there's nowhere to hide. But you got Vogels. Basically, a lot of the team had a few of them. Callum Styles had 2 of them. He only came on in 55 minutes. So defensively, who did all the defensive work? Vogelsam had the most tackles of any Millwall player with 4. So he's clearly trying. McNamara with 2. Jack Cooper, which was that last man tackle. If you look on the right hand side, there's a T there. That means the last man tackle. That was against Semenyo. But he got in there and just managed to get it out for a corner. I mean, again, outstanding defending in that game. So interceptions, all of them. So there's a lot going on defensively. Clearances, tons of clearances. Sean Hutchinson with 4, Murray with 4, McNamara with 3, George Long with 2. Block shots, no one blocked a shot because they only had 6 shots in there. Okay, passing wise. So who had the most passes? Probably it was Sean Hutchinson, then Billy Mitchell, and then Jake Cooper, and then Murray Wallace. And again, you got Billy Mitchell with 86.9 off of 61 passes. That's very good. And probably Jake Cooper's not bad either, 79 off of 57. If we look at crosses and accurate crosses, so wow, okay, that is a lot of bloody crosses, but to who? Who was in there? That's insane. That's an insane amount of crosses. What is that? 10, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 crosses. 22 crosses? How? 22 crosses. And how many of them were accurate? Looks like not many. 3. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So Tyler Burey actually one cross, 1 accurate cross. Not bad. But this probably explains Danny McNamara's low score. 8 crosses, 1 inaccurate. But if he's got no one to aim at, he's just got to put it in the area. I hope someone runs in there, but what can you do? No one's there to aim at in the box. You've just got to cross it in there and hope something happens. Long balls and accurate long balls. George Long 26 and 12. Hutchinson 13 and 5. Jake Cooper 11 and 7. Billy Mitchell 9 and 8. Wow. Billy Mitchell 9 long balls, 8 of them accurate. That is pretty incredible. I think that's one of the best I've ever seen on this thing. Generally, you don't get long balls. A lot of long balls attempted and a lot of them accurate. It's normally like 50%, but 9 and 8, that's pretty good. And you've got Zion Fleming down there 2 and 2, not bad. Yeah, so let's just have a look again at the ratings. Murray Wallace there, main attacking threat, 3 shots he had. He did some pretty good defending as well, 7.45, but Zion Fleming 6.22. No one's moaning at him. They're all moaning at Tyler Burey with 6.32. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.